Fog of War is a fairly straightforward mechanic. If I stand on one side of a tree and an enemy is on the other side, we won't see each other. That's thanks to Fog of War. But like most things in Dota, there's a deeper level of complexity within this and the vision mechanic that can be a bit confusing. For example, why Lion using Earth Spike here gives vision of him, but this time it doesn't. Or why enemies inside or outside of Roche's pit won't see you if you stand here. Today, I wanted to go over some of the more interesting and confusing aspects of one of the most overlooked but fundamental mechanics in Dota 2, Fog of War. Parts of the map you and your allies can't directly see are covered in Fog of War, a dark mist that hides things like enemy units and spells. Enemies in Fog of War cannot be directly targeted, since you can't see them, but they can still be hit by non-targeted abilities, which brings us back to the Lion example. Earthspike is a unit or point target ability, meaning you can use it on an enemy by clicking on them or by clicking on the ground in their direction. And did you know, if you use it on the ground compared to clicking it on an enemy, that'll allow you to hit the enemy from a further range. A nice trick if range is an issue for you. When an ability is used on a unit by targeting them, meaning you click the ability on them, this provides caster vision of the unit using the ability. This creates a vision cell around the source, revealing the area for a fixed duration. Some other examples are Bane's Brain Sap and Crystal Maiden's Frostbite. So if you're something like a Shadow Shaman or a Winter Wyvern and you're trying to push a side lane while staying off the map and undetected, every time you use your target spell on an enemy unit, you're actually providing caster vision of yourself to the enemy. So be careful doing this. An exception to this rule is Spirit Breaker's Charge, which does not give vision of Spirit Breaker when he uses it to start charging an enemy, and Hoodwink's Acorn Shot, which does give vision of Hoodwink even if you use it on the ground instead of targeting an enemy. This is because it technically is firing an attack from Hoodwink, which brings us to our second point. This same rule applies to attacks. If you attack an enemy from Fog of War, it'll provide vision around you to the enemy the same way it did when you targeted a spell on them. An exception here is Sniper with the Ghillie Suit Facet, which does not reveal him in Fog of War when he attacks while Take Aim is active. The result of an attack does not matter, so even if an attack misses, it'll still provide caster vision on the attacker. This caster vision mechanic prevents players from easily and constantly harassing enemies from Fog of War, which would be pretty annoying. And there's an exception to all of this, both abilities and attacks: 1800 range. If you manage to have 1800 cast or attack range, using a targeted ability or attacking an enemy from that range will not grant caster vision over you for the enemies. It'll be the same as Sniper hitting you from Fog of War with the Ghillie Suit Facet, but good luck getting that high of cast or attack range. As you know, if you're at the bottom of stairs, you can't see what's at the top until your team gets vision up there. Maybe you walk up or place an observer ward. Same thing for knowing what's behind a tree, you can't see until you walk around. This is the simple rule of Fog of War that I'm sure you understand at this point, but there's a unique mechanic within this called vision blockers. These are certain places on the map that control visibility in special ways in addition to the normal vision rules. The first place is Roche's pit. As you probably know, you can't see what's inside the pit unless you're in it, and you can't see outside of it unless you're out of it. This is true all around the pit, unless of course you have flying vision, but there's a special rule at the entrance. There are certain spots right at the entrance of Roche's pit on either side of the map called phantom spots. If you stand in a phantom spot, you can't be seen by enemies unless they're nearly right on top of you. There are three types of phantom spots: ones that allow you to see in the pit, ones that allow you to see out, and ones that allow you to see both in and out slightly. I could only find this third one in Radiant's pit. If you know of one of these spots on Dire, let all of us know in the comments below. You may have seen clips of people trying to juke enemies with these phantom spots. It's a very sneaky and useful thing to know if you're ever running for your life in this area. Knowing if you're in a phantom spot is a bit tricky, but the general rule is to inch closer and closer in or out of the pit until your vision changes to reveal more. Then you're in a phantom spot. Once you get the hang of it, you might even be able to use it to yoink an enemy Aegis. And remember, there's this special phantom spot on the bottom left area of the Radiant Pit entrance that allows you to see both in and out without being seen unless the enemy is basically right on top of you. And the last note on these phantom spots, they can be great for things like Tombstone or Supernova. They follow the same rules as your hero hiding in them. so it can make it much more difficult for the enemy to find and kill them. If you can get one of these off in a phantom spot during a teamfight, it's easy GG. The other area on the map with a vision blocker is the fountain entrance. This is mostly redundant since the fountain's higher elevation already prevents vision, but cool to know. Okay, I've been playing Dota for over 10 years now, and I'm going to admit that this next mechanic is something I guess I never truly understood until testing things out for this video. Shared vision. Some abilities in Dota grant what's called shared vision, allowing your team to see what the enemy unit sees. An example of this is Grimstroke's Phantom Embrace. I used to think the Phantom just gave a set amount of vision around the hero, but it actually shares the vision range of the unit it's attached to. Here's how it works. Imagine you're against a Night Stalker. During the day, Night Stalker has very poor vision range. If you use Phantom Embrace on him, your team will have that same small vision range around Night Stalker. However, if Night Stalker ults, he gains massive vision, and Phantom Embrace will now provide your team with that large vision range. That's the power of shared vision. Some other abilities that provide shared vision are Razor's Static Blink, Sniper's Assassinate, and Spirit Breaker's Charge. There aren't many abilities in the game that provide this, making it strong when you have it on your team, especially if used mindfully. Knowing which heroes have good or bad vision can be helpful to use these spells more effectively. The last thing we'll cover is a mechanic called exposing. This happens when an enemy's model is shown through the fog of war, but you don't actually gain full vision of them. Fog of war still covers them, but they remain visible as if they weren't hidden. An example of this is Pugnant's Life Drain. If you use it on an enemy, you'll keep seeing them even if they move into fog of war. The interesting part of this exposing mechanic is that it also applies to invisible units. It doesn't cancel their invisibility, but it reveals their silhouette, and in some cases, they're even targetable. If you use Life Drain on an enemy and they turn invisible, you'll see their silhouette, and you can keep targeting and attacking them like normal. But it works differently with other abilities, like Tusk Snowball. If you expose an enemy with Snowball and they go invisible, you can still see them moving, but you cannot target or attack them while their silhouette is visible. The same goes for Disruptor's Thunderstrike and Dark Willow's Terrorize. They expose the enemy, but you can't interact with them. It seems if the enemy's silhouette has this darker look to it while they're exposed, it can't be targeted. Keep this in mind if you're about to yell at your teammate for not using a target ability on an enemy in a situation like this. I just want to quickly say thank you to everyone here. We're approaching 30k subs, which is insane. I'm planning on doing a Q&A video soon, so if you have any questions you want to ask me, you can throw them in the comments of this video. Just be sure to say something like Q&A question somewhere in the comments so I can find them easily. Special thanks to the homies going above and beyond in supporting me and my content. Umut, Tilted Ward, The Titan Forge, Mark, Aaron, and Oleg. We're close to passing 700 members in our Discord, so come join. You can chat about Dota or non-Dota related things with some like-minded people and even find others to play with. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something new with me.